Hi, today we're generating 3D blocks using your initials. It's going to be awesome. Grab a Splat and let's go. It doesn't matter where on the page you draw your cubes. Try not to put them all in a row on the same level. Notice I've overlapped one in front of the other one. Makes it look more interesting. I've picked some random letters at the top here. So at the moment they're just a thin line. But if we're going to thicken it up, let's have a look how that would appear in a square. Notice I'm joining the top to the corners. And I'm finishing off with a little cross piece on the A. Let's draw the center lines in. Use the splat to give you that isometric angle. Here I'm joining the top of the A again to the corners and then thickening it up. With a bit of practice, you'll get used to doing this in your sleep. Alright, cool. Now, we have to take those 3 points on the other isometric angle backwards one full length, and that one's already done. So that angle I'm copying right there. Each line has a copy slid further back, and inside there's some hidden ones that I've missed. Good. Now we'll go around the outside with our cutting line, and there's our A. The C is curved, so we're going to imagine that in straight lines. Curved letters are much more tricky. That's for another tutorial. So let's change all of those curved block letters into straight lines. I'm finishing now the little vertical line so you can see the letter taking shape. Let's erase a little bit there. And I'm going to chamfer the corners. Chamfer means to take a corner off using a straight line as opposed to rounding it off. But that gives us more lines that have to go back on the splat angle. Just one line going back there because there's an edge kind of hidden underneath. Let's try and make the C a little bit fancier now by adding some more detail. So we change the shape on the C and then we take them all back to the left on the splat angle. Good. Now let's plan how a capital J would look inside a square. That looks pretty straightforward. And a little cap on top. Let's have a go at drawing it in the left-hand side face. We'll draw the vertical lines first. Now the horizontal lines. Remember, they're the ones that are flat to the ground, or the horizon. And the little cap on top. We might also chamfer some of the corners. It helps it appear to the eye like it's rounded, even though it's still made from flats. So there's my J. And now we need to slide back on the opposite angle using the splat. And notice all those are one splat length. And then join at the back. Sometimes you might see a little bit of the chopped off corner. Really depends what angle you've drawn the chamfer on. Don't forget about everywhere you have a corner, you'll need an isometric line going back. Let's try and change the capital J into a lowercase. So I'm going back to my plain J and then I'm adding a little dot on top. So let's project some lines up and draw a square in isometric, and then just as before, take each corner across to the right. Join up at the back. Are you getting the idea? Now let's try something a little more difficult for those older students watching. Have a look as I sketch out an A on the left-hand side face of the cube. I'm outlining the A, and then I'll draw in the hidden little lines from there and there. Alright, what's happening at the top here? Well, the A will go back, but on top you'll get like a cross shape because it's all level. You only get a line where the wood or metal actually changes or bends. So on top will just be a plain cross. A few little lines to add in there. Kind of a guess at the back. Alright, good. Now this is the tricky bit. Where the two A's meet will be a line. There's one face of the cube that we haven't drawn on yet, and that's the top. I'm sketching just the top of the cube first. Most of it's hidden. Let's have a go at letter K. So sketch it in, thicken it up. Let's have a go on the isometric. Each of the corners of the K, I'm sketching a light line first and then thickening it up. It's kind of an easy way to get started with this block lettering. Now you just need to go around the outside until you've got your K. Now which direction will I run the other lines? Straight down. I'm going to run each of them down one splat length. Notice how each of those lines stop at the bottom of the splat unless, like just there, you hit another object. But this one, full length. And at the bottom, copy that angle. Okay, you've got this, guys. I would love to see some of your drawings emailed in. And one more little line there. Excellent. If you're drawing in black and white, just with some pencil, and you're not adding colour to this, then you can shade by just drawing a series of parallel lines. My general rule for shading is to pick a direction and make the dark surfaces all face the same way. In this case, all of my dark surfaces are facing the right hand side, apart from inside the C where it's probably a bit darker as well on the bottom. On this surface, it's easier to draw up and down lines because they're shorter than if I drew them left to right. And I've just noticed there's a little area there that I'm yet to shade in. This grey marker is adding a little shadow underneath the object to help it look like it's a solid. You can use a little bit of grey pencil. Thanks so much for following along. Have some fun with this. It's a great skill development exercise and show your friends. Thanks. I'm Glenn. Bye.